You're never too old to get a tattoo, that's the saying, apparently. Not if you're David Dimbleby, anyway. The 75-year-old Question Time presenter will be showing in his latest TV series getting a scorpion. Mark Snake is a freehand tattoo artist, and he's from Preston, and he joins me on the line. Mark, welcome to the programme. What do you make of David Dimbleby, someone so high profile like this, getting a tattoo for the first time?
I think it's a fantastic thing. I think it's nice that he actually appreciates the art.
Simple as that. Do you think he's been forced into this?
Not at all. I think maybe from his own reservations. When I read The Guardian, you clearly see that he's actually going back on a decision he made and drawing it on with a pencil. He's watched the video over before it goes out, and he's decided, no, actually, I'm going to man up a bit and I'm going to go out and get a tattoo. And he feels great about it. It's brought the kid of him outside, and he's actually being himself, and that's expressing himself, and that's what art is all about.
Well, yeah, you say artwork. I mean, we can describe, your profession to maybe other types of professions. And I mean, what do you think tattoos are becoming more popular? It seems, anyway, people walking around with many more tattoos on themselves.
Oh, yes. Well, of course, this brings as many problems as it does good. The good it's brought is mainly because of people like pop stars, Rihanna, people like David Beckham, made tattoos very much more acceptable now. The program Miami Ink, it brought it into mainstream. It made people realise that sometimes the tattoos are a way of getting through things in life, and they are just generally appreciating art. You don't actually have to have been in prison to have a tattoo.
Well, that's it. You see, it's a generation thing, isn't it? If you've been in the Army, Navy, or services, you might have a tattoo from somewhere abroad, or, as you said, if you've been in prison, self-tattoos and things like that. So the image was all different, but these days it is totally different. The artwork, and describe yourself as a tattoo artist. I mean, do you do it freehand? Do you do it from stencils or what?
Absolutely. What I do, let me just point out when I say that, I'm a very different niche to your usual tattoo artist. I'm a freehand artist, which means I go straight onto skin. Occasionally I'll map things out with a pen, so they end up designing what they really want in the mirror. They see it on themselves and they say, well, what if they move the arm up this way or the leg that way? Perhaps if we move a bit down further down the back. Before they know it, they're actually creating their own artwork without even realising it, which is a wonderful thing. It's separate from the usual tattooing, which is where you go in and you choose something off the wall, which I'm all for. Yet again, it's a different niche. It's something for the person that wants something a little bit extra, a little bit more extravagant, and is guaranteed a one-off tattoo.
Is there an average age? We seem to be obsessed by age. David Dimbleby over 70. I spoke to a grandma over 80 who had a first tattoo. Is there an average age for people who get tattoos?
Not really. I mean, it's gone way across the board. And it's not so much age, it's walks of life as well. I mean, quite a lot. When you talk about average customers, I'm getting in business people that normally save your life, not people would presume. I'm getting people like doctors, police people come in, business people come in. My average age group that comes in, I would say, is probably 40, 50 plus, and mostly women. It is people that wanting a tattoo now, that wanted to be daring so many years ago, that wanted to express themselves, and it wasn't really generally seen in the eyes of society as a good thing. Whereas now, people don't tend to judge each other that way, and it's more about how you feel and how you express yourself. And these people can do that now without being judged. It's a release for them, and they feel wonderful once they've done it.
There is a side of it, though, isn't there? I've heard it many times on documentaries, and there's been a recent documentary that was a bit excessive, which could probably put people off tattooing. And it becomes, for some, an obsession to actually have the tattoo done.
Yeah, and this is where I was getting to with the bad side of it. Unfortunately, that's just human behaviour. You are going to get people that get slightly obsessed with it. It becomes more than just a hobby and a passion. They will tend to go overboard. There are people out there that are just choosing tattoos just for the sake of getting tattoos and not really making good life decisions. That's down to the individual and their self-control, and it is also really down to a good tattoo artist that should be able to point this out when they see these people come into the shop and say, this is on you for the rest of your life. Sit down, have a think, have a coffee, and I'm going to tell you the downsides as well as the good sides.
Well, that's a great bit of advice. I suppose you don't approve of the parlours in the places like Magaluf when people have hammered to the wind and going in a tattoo parlour at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it's a whole one call, because obviously there's some fantastic tattoo artists out there, but there are a few that take advantage of the situation. Seaside towns quite a lot, where people will just move in, open up a shop, and literally they just prey upon the weak-minded or people that have been drinking too much. They're away, they're on holiday, they've had a few to drink, and they'll go straight to a tattoo studio where the guy's waiting, rubbing his hands together. That is an element that needs to be controlled, and that's really down to the government. That's an issue I'm pushing for at the moment.
You're not very good at recognising famous people, apparently. You come in your shop, are you?
No, I do have a bit of a problem. I tend to get it pointed out more by the other people sitting in the shop. I don't watch a lot of TV. I'm a very busy guy, and when I see people coming, especially football players, I don't really follow football. I don't get a lot of time to watch any sport or really know who's who or what's going on, and quite often people will walk out and say, do you realise who that was?
So they tell you afterwards. And I believe someone I know from music from years ago, Jazzy Jeff.
Yes, well, he originally came to Preston. I mean, he's really done the rounds in Preston, and it was a great joy meeting him and his entourage, and they obviously they expressed an interest and also plugged the show, which was pretty nice. So, yeah, there's been quite a few nice little surprises I've had in the last 2 years.
So David Dimbleby walks in your place, you don't know who he is, but you give him a tattoo.
Providing he's making a good life decision, I'm more than happy to help him.
Thank you very much indeed. Cheers. That's Mark Snake, freehand tattoo artist from Preston, commenting on David Dimbleby. There's no average age. There's no average age at all. Simple as that. If you fancy one, go and get one done. But it is a life decision, as he said, which I like that. I like he said that because I did watch that programme. BBC